Hello friends, welcome to the .NET Awesome YouTube channel. This is the second part of the tutorial event or scheduler calendar in ASP.NET MVC application. In the first part of this tutorial, we have seen how to display events in full calendar from our database. Now in this second part, we will implement CRUD operation on the full calendar for managing event or schedule tasks to the database. Before watching this video, I will suggest you to watch the previous video of this tutorial where we have shown you how to display events in full calendar from our database. I have given link of that video in this video description box. Here in this tutorial, we will see how we can add, edit and delete event in full calendar using modal dialog window. This will enhance our application in terms of readability, usability and better UI, right? Okay, let's implement CRUD operation in the full calendar. So first of all, I will open the application in Visual Studio what we have created in the previous part of this tutorial. I have given download link of the application in this video description box. You can download the application source code if you haven't done already. You can see here in the Solution Explorer I have already opened the application what we have created in the previous part of this tutorial, MVC event calendar. In the first step, I will add two MVC action in the home controller for add, edit and delete events from database. You can see there this is for fetch data from database what we have created in the previous part. Now I will add one more action here, public. Actually I want to return JSON data, so my return type will be JSON result. Save event okay so this is for save new or existing event. Here I will declare one variable, status false. This is for status of this action is executed successfully or not. Return new JSON result, data equals to status equals to status. So and I will make this event HTTP post. Okay, this action is HTTP post action, and here I will write code for save event. So using my database entity, this is my database context name. Okay, if e dot event id is greater than 0, that means this is existing event, so we will write here for update the event, and if it is 0 then we will add this as a new event and start add here e. Okay, so what I will do here, first of all I will fetch the event information from database. So where event id equals to e dot event id dot first dot default, and if the event is exist, then what I will do, I will update subject start date e dot start. I will update end date, then description is full day event b dot theme color. So this is done, and here finally we will call database context dot save changes for save this event data, and here if everything is okay then I will return true. So I set status equals to true. Okay, so this is done for save or save new or existing event, and just after that I will add one more event, more action, MVC action, which is for delete existing event. Okay, so delete, and we need to pass the ID which one we want to delete. Let me change this name to delete event. Okay, and here I will pass event ID. Okay, same thing I will do here. I will declare one status variable first, and then I will return this as a JSON result for know how this action is executed properly or it's given error. Okay, and here I will write code for delete the event from database, my database entities. This is our data context name of our database, and here dc dot events dot where first of all I will check the event is exist or not before delete it. Event ID dot first our default, and if v not equals to null, that means it's if it is exist in our database, then what we will do, we will dc dot events dot remove. Okay, then here we will call dc dot save changes, and finally I will update the status to true. So this is also done. So what we have done here, we have added two MVC action, one for save events and one for delete events. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to close this one. Now we have to update our view page for enabling CRUD operation, but I will run the application before update the view page, so we can plan how we can update our view page for add, edit or delete functionality. Okay, so I'm going to run the application first. You can see this is what we have already done. This two event we have added here. So and when we will click on any event, it will open one pop-up dialog window for display the event details. We can add an edit and a delete button in this pop-up, right? And when user will click on the edit button, we will open an edit form in another pop-up dialog window for edit the selected event. We can use the same form for add a new event also. And when user will click on the delete button, we can call the delete action for delete the event. So let's update our view. So I will close this one, I will stop debugging, and I will open this index.cshtml view, and you can see this is the section we have created, and here I will add two buttons, one for edit and another one for delete. Okay, so here I'm going to add one button with ID btn delete, and I will add some bootstrap class here for make it looks perfect. Btn default, and the size of the btn will be small, and want to show this button right side, so full, okay, full right. This, so I want to add one icon also in the button, so it will look nice. So for this I will add one span with the bootstrap class. Sorry, I need to add two class here. Remove, and the text will be remove, and I want to add one more button for edit, so btn edit, pencil edit. Let me add a little margin here so it will looks nice, right, 5 pixel. Okay, so I have already added two buttons here, one for edit button and one for delete. Okay, this is done. Now I will write click event for these two buttons. So here I'll go down to this script section, and here I will write event for these two buttons. So what I will write here, I'll write btn edit and then click event function. This is for event button, edit button, and this is for delete button. When anyone will click on this edit button, I will open modal dialog window for edit form. Edit selected event, and here I will write code for delete the selected event. So let's write this function first for the delete button. Okay, so what we will do here, we will call the MVC action for deleting the selected event, and after delete we will reload the calendar. Okay, so here we need to have the selected event ID, right? So I will add a global variable for the selected event first, and then we will complete this action. Okay, so here let me add one global variable for selected event. By default it is null. Okay, and where we will get this value from, this will here, when any event will be clicked, then we will set the value of this selected event here in the selected event variable. Okay, so this way we can get the selected event, and when anyone will click here, I will check one thing. If the selected event is not null, and I will add one confirm message before deleting. Are you sure? And if the user press OK button, then we will delete the selected event. Okay, so after confirmation we will call one ajax method for calling MVC action, what we have already written there in the home controller for delete the selected event. So the type will be HTTP post, so it will be post method, and then URL will be home slash, let me see once, the name of the MVC action what we have already written here, this is delete event. Okay, So this is delete event, and after success we'll check it is successfully executed or not. Status, if status is true, then here we need to refresh browse the calendar. Okay, and if it is failed, so we will notify with the one alert message that it's failed. Okay, so for refresh the calendar we have to call this Ajax method again, right, or refresh the browser. So what I will do here, I will just cut this one and put into a function, JavaScript function, so we can reuse this again and again whenever it required, right? So what I will do here, I'll create one function, fetch event and render calendar, and inside this method I will paste this Ajax method what we have already used for fetch data, right? And before calling this we should make this empty. And one more thing I will do, I will call here at the beginning. Okay, so this is done. What we have done here, we have just cut this Ajax method into another JavaScript function or make it reusable, and we have called this method from here at the beginning, and I will call this function from here as well after delete. Okay, so if delete is successfully completed, and then we will refresh the calendar. Okay, so this is done. So let's run the application and check the delete functionality is working or not. So I'm going to run this application again. You can see there are 2 events already added, what we have done in previous part of this tutorial. Okay, so if I now open this one, you can see 2 buttons is also showing here, the edit and delete. Okay, edit functionality is not completed, we have already done delete one. So let's check it is working or not. So it's showing that, are you sure? If I click cancel, it will not happen anything, and if I click OK, then it will remove this one. But sorry, I have forgot to add one more thing here. After refresh the browser, we should close the modal dialog also, right? So for hide this modal, I will do one thing, paste here, and inside this modal I have to pass this hide property. Okay, so it will hide the opened modal pop-up. Okay, so again I'm going to refresh the browser. Okay, so you can see here these 2 events, and I'm going to delete this one, the birthday one. And now if I click remove, and then if I click OK, it's showing failed. Let me see what error I'm getting. Okay, sorry, we have forgot to add the event ID as a parameter. We need to pass this one, right? So what I will do, go back here, and here I need to pass data, and the variable name should be event ID colon selected event dot event ID, and this I will get it from here. Let me check I have already added or not. When we fetch data from database here, sorry, this is required. Event ID should be read dot event ID. This is required. So Now we have event ID in our events, and when user will click on any event, we will get this selected event in the selected event variable. And when user will click on this delete button, I will check the selected event is not null, and if user confirm, then we can get this event ID from the selected event and we will call this action. Okay, so now let me refresh again the browser. And if I click now and then I click on this remove button and then OK, you can see the birthday event is removed. If I refresh, it will not show. That means it's perfectly working fine now, the delete functionality. Okay, now let's do edit the selected event, and for this we have to add another modal pop-up. So I'm going to close this one again, stop this one, and we need to add one more modal pop-up for the event form. So what I will do quickly, I will just copy this into HTML for the modal dialog and we'll paste here my modal, save. This is new ID and I don't need this one. I will replace here with my form from where we can submit the selected event data to server for update the event. Okay, so let me add HTML here. So here I will add one form element with class form horizontal, and inside this form we have to add all the fields for update all the property of a event. So first of all I will add one input of type hidden for store the event ID, selected event ID. Okay, and the ID field is HD event ID. Okay, then I have to add one text box for event subject, and for this I will add one div with class form group, and inside this class I will add one label, and then I will add one input field. Type should be text, ID is txt subject, and I will add one class here, bootstrap class, which is form control. Okay, so this is done, and then I will add a date time field for the event start date time, and for this we have to add a jQuery datetime picker plugin. Here I will use bootstrap datetime picker. So let me first define the property and then we will add required JS and CSS library, okay, for the datetime picker. So for add this field I need to add one more div here with class form group, and label should be start. Okay, and then I will add another div here with class input group and date, and ID should be DTP1, datetime picker 1. Okay, and inside this I will add one input field with type text, ID txt start and then class form control. Okay, and now I will add one icon button. By clicking this icon button, you will open one date time picker control. Okay, so for this I will add one span with class with group add-on. Calendar. Okay, so this is also done. Now let me add one date time picker here. As I have told you, I want to use Bootstrap date time picker, so I will go to the Google and search Bootstrap date time picker. This one I want to use. And in the installation, let me check what we need to do. We need to add jQuery, moment. This all we have done. Just we need to add these two things. One is Bootstrap datetime picker main.js. Okay, so I will copy this one, and here I will take this one, but we will use CDN link for this. So let me remove this one. I'll copy this one and search in Google for CDN link. So the CDN link is available, so I will copy directly from here. Copy this one. This is the JS library, and so I will paste it here. And we need to add one more thing, which is a CSS library, so I will copy this one, and here in this section I will copy this CSS, this one, paste it here. So we have done adding required JS and CSS file for Bootstrap datetime picker. Okay, and we have to call this datetime picker for this for field, the start, this one. So I will copy this one, and here I will call the datetime picker method for enable this datetime picker. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to pass the ID, and then I will call datetime picker. Okay, and also we will pass format property. What we want here, we want to show dd yyyy and then hhma. This format I want. So what I have done here, I have added the required JS and CSS library for this datetime picker, and now here I have called this datetime picker method for this ID, so it will open this datetime picker when we will click on this ID. Okay, so this is done. Now let's go back to this form, but before adding anything here, for now let me add one more thing. You can see I have set this datetime format dd/mmyy. For accepting this datetime format in .NET model binder, we have to set culture in web.config file, otherwise it will not bind with the date property. Okay, so what I need to do for support this format in the backend also in the .NET. I need to add one line here in this web.config file. Okay, here in this system.web I need to add globalization culture, sorry, okay, and also need to UI culture, and the value will be en-gv. This is I'm adding only for support this ddmmyyyy date format in the backend also. So whenever we will submit any date with this format, it will automatically bind to the date field property in a model binder. Okay, so this is done. Now I'll go back to this form again. So I have already added one text field for the subject, another input field for the date time with date time picker enabled, and then here I will add one checkbox for set is full day event or not. So what I will do here, I will add a div again with the class form group, and then inside here I will add one more div with class checkbox, and then I will add one label is full day event, and here before this text I will add one checkbox. So input type should be checkbox with ID chk is full day, and the check status checked. You can see here I have added lots of extra HTML and classes. This is all for make the form looks perfect, as we are using Bootstrap. That's the reason we have added this extra div and the classes. If you don't want, you don't need to, you can also put directly this input fields with the IDs. Okay, so this input checkbox type is also done for is full day. Now I will add another input field for end date. So what I will do here, for make it quicker, I will copy the same here what we have already done for the start date and paste it here. I will change the label to end date. Okay, and it will be DTP2. All done. Just one thing I will do here, by default I will make it hidden, display none. Okay, and when the is full day checkbox is unchecked, then we will show this field, so user can provide event ended only when the event is not for full day. Okay, and as I have added this as a for take the end date, I need to copy this one and assign here this one as well for this date time picker. Okay, so this is also done, and as I have told you, this field will be only visible when the checkbox chk is full day will be unchecked. So I need to add one event here for this checkbox. Okay, so let me go here in this jQuery section, and here I will write a little JavaScript code for show and hide the end date, and we will use checkbox change event. And when the value of this checkbox will be true. This dot is, and here checked. This means when the checkbox is checked, that time I will hide the end date field, this one, no? So let me add one ID here to hide this one, div end date. Okay, copy this one, and here when this is checked, then this div should be hidden. Okay, so this dot hide. Otherwise this div will be visible, so this dot show. Okay, so this is done. Now let's go back to the form again here. Now we need to add two more fields, one for description and second one is for theme color. So for description I will add another div, class, form, group, level, description, and then here I will add one text area, ID, txt, description, sorry, I will set rows to 3. So description is done. Now I will add one more for theme color. The class for this text area should also be form control. Okay, level equals to theme color, and here I will add select field with ID, TD, theme color, and class form control, and the option value empty, default color, red, blue, black, green. That is enough for now. So we have already added all the required fields. Now I have to add one button here for submit this form. Let me add one button, type button, ID, and save, it should be saved, and the bootstrap class I will add here, btn and btn success. Okay, we can do one more thing here. We will just cut this one and paste it here for make it looks perfect, and we don't need this footer part. So we have done our add and edit event form. Now we will open this form when the edit button will be clicked. Okay, for open the form with the selected event data, we will write one JavaScript function, and this function we will call from the edit button click event. Okay, so I will go back to the JavaScript section. Here I will write one function for open the form, open add edit form. what we will do here, we will hide the details pop-up first, and then we will open the form what we have just created here, this one. So, and if the selected event is not equals to null, then we will add value here in the form fields. Okay, so first of all, let me break this window. This is our first field, so I will add the value yo dot val selected event dot event id. Okay, and then we have subject, so I will copy this field, this id subject, and the value I will set here with the selected event title field. Okay, and then we have start date, this one I will set value, and this field or the selected event start date, selected event dot start dot format. We have to set the formatted text here, and the format will be this one what we have set here. Okay, so this is done. Now we have checkbox, chk is full day. Okay, and for set this checkbox status, what I will do is there is a prop method, checked, and the value will be selected event dot all day, or as this field is nullable in our database, so here I will write one condition. If it is null, then by default it will be false. Okay, and after that we have ended this one, but before set this ended value, I think we should call this dot checked change event, for update the end field visibility. Okay, based on this value. And now I will set this txt ended. So for this, what I will do, I will copy this one, I will paste it here, and this I will set end value, but only when this is not null, because this field is nullable in our database. So what I will do, I will copy this one if not equals to null, then it will be this one, otherwise it will be empty. Okay, and what next we have is description. Okay, so I'll copy this id, description dot val selected event dot description. Okay, and last field we have theme color, this one, right? So what I will do here, I will set theme color dot val with the selected event color property. So what I have done here, now I'm going to close this to break window. So what I have done in this function, I have checked if the selected event is not null, then I have set all the value of this selected event in the form field, so anyone can change the value if they want. And after that, what I have done, I have hide the details form and open the edit form here. Okay, so this is clear. Now we need to call this function for open this window, and now we will call this function from this edit button click event from here, as we have told you. So whenever anyone will click on this edit button, it will call the function open and edit form, and here in the function, if this selected event is not null, then all the property field is updated with the current data of this selected event, and we will open the form. And after that, what we will do, we will write another function for submit this data, this updated data, for update the event in our database as well. Okay, now we have to write code for submitting form data. We will do this on save button click event. So let me add one click event here for the save button of this form. So where this is the idea of our save button. So here I will write code for this save button click event, and in here what I will do, I will write validation code first, and then we will call function for submit data on the server. Okay, so for validation, first of all I will check the subject, because this is required. Txt subject field, if it is empty, then I will alert a message with subject required like this, and here I will call return. So the remaining code will not fire if the subject is empty. Okay, similarly we can check start date this way also. If the start is empty, then start date required. Okay, and you can write validation code as per your model here. I'm just doing this for now. Let me check the end date also. This is one of the important, so I'm showing you how we can validate the end date as well. I will check the end date only when this is not checked, the checkbox, right, what we have done here before, because if the is full date is checked, then we should not check the end date property. Okay, so what I will do here, I will check, this is the property, if this is checked, okay, actually if this is false and the end date is empty, like this one, I will copy this one and paste it here and change this end. So if the checkbox is not checked and the end date is empty, then I will show this alert message, end date required. Okay, otherwise we will not show this message. And if the end date and start date is provided, we should also check the end date should not be greater than the start date, right? So what we will do in the else part, we will check the start date and end date, which the end date is should not be greater than the start date, so start date should be, I will use the moment method for convert this string to date. Okay, start dot val, and then we have to provide the format, and the format is this one, dot to date. Same way we can get this end date also from the string. Just copy this one and paste it here, and here I will provide end. Okay, and now I will check if start date greater than end date, then we will show one error message, invalid end date. Okay, and return. So this is the validation what I have applied here is required for this. Now you can add more validation code here as per your requirement, and if this all is valid, then I have to submit the updated event data to the server for update the selected event, right? So here I will declare one variable data, and here we have to define event ID. This data I will pass to the server for update the selected event. Okay, so the event ID should be this value, right? So I will copy this one for make it quicker, paste it here. Then we have subject field in the database, and I will get this value from here, this one, and then we have start, and I will get this value from here. Oh sorry, it should be subject, and this will be start. Okay, and for the end date I will submit this data only when this is not checked, right? So if this is checked, then I will provide null value, otherwise I will provide the end input text field value. Okay, so this should be end. This is done. Now in the description, so I will provide the description field value. This is the description field value, and then theme color should be start val, right? So this is also done. Now okay, now we have to submit this data to the server side for update the selected event, right? Let me add another method here for submit data to the server, so we can reuse this function whenever we need it. Save event data. Okay, and I will call this method from here with this data. Now in this function, what I will do, I will write one Ajax method for post this data to the server, and here I will call this method what we have already created in the home controller for save event. Okay, so what I need to do here, I will write again one Ajax method for save this data to the server, as we have done in the delete event, right? So let me just copy this one so it will be quick, and I will paste it here. And what I need to change is the URL. It will be save event, and in the data I will directly pass this data because this is an object. Okay, and when the status is true, I will refresh the browser, and also I will close this save form. So here my form is my model save. Okay, so this one I need to hide it. So all done for update the event, and we are ready to run this application. So we can test on the browser it's the save event function is working perfectly fine or not. Let's run this application for check this update functionality is working or not. It's taking a little time. Okay, now it's open. So here you can see, if I now click here, it will see these details, and now if I click on this edit button, it should open another pop-up window, and we will close this window. Yes, it's open, but the design looks horrible. I think I have done a little mistake. Let me check. What I have done here is, first of all, I need to do one thing here. I need to add one more class called MD12 for add merging both in the left or right side, and I think this is happened for this style.css. It's override some CSS, so let me disable this one for now. I'll go back to the index view, and here this should be add or save event, right? So let me again refresh this one. Now if I click here and then click on this edit button, now it looks perfect, right? So suppose I have changed this one description, and the new article is for scheduler application. Okay, and if I change this to black, green, okay, make it green, no, red is already blue, and if I click the save, you can see this is updated. Now the color is blue, and now also the description is showing properly. So delete and update functionality is done. Now we will do create functions of CRUD operation. So what we will do, we will open the same form for save new event also, what we have already used for update existing one. This form we will use, okay, for add new events. We will open this form for create a new event when user will select a day or multiple days or time slot by clicking and dragging in full calendar. Like when we will click here in this time slot, or if we drag from 11 to 20, then we will open this form for create new event. Okay, so let's do it. How we can do, I will go back to the view page, and here in the generate calendar method we have created this full calendar, right? So here we need to add two things for make this enable for user to select one day or multiple day or time slot by dragging. Okay, so for the selecting we will use this select event from full calendar. This allow the user to select multiple day or a single day or select time slot. Okay, so function, and it provides two parameter, one is start and another one is end. So we can use this method, this event, for open our save form. And one more thing I need to add here for enable this select event, which is selectable. We may have to set this true. So we have to set this selectable true, and then we can write this select event here, and from here we will open this form for add a new event in our database. So from here I will call this method for open the form. Okay, so I will copy here and paste it here, and before open this form we have to set the selected event. So in this case, as this is the new event we are creating, so here we will do one thing, we will create one event with event ID 0. So we can understand this form when we will submit this form to the server, this request is for create a new event or update the existing one. Okay, so event ID, title should be empty, description should be empty because this is for new one, but the start date will be this start, this one, right? And end should be this one, this end. Okay, is full day, sorry, all day will be false, and color is the default color, which is empty. Okay, so this is done. After open the form, we should unselect the time slot what is selected, and this way we can do the unselect. Okay, this is all what we need to do for save new event, these two, and all remaining is we have already done. For open this form, and after clicking the save button it will execute this function. So all are done. Now we can refresh the browser and check it's creating new event or not. Okay, so I'm going to open this browser again, clicking to F5 for refresh the browser, and now if I click here on the 5, see, when I click it's automatically open this form for save new event, and also date is selected 5 to 6, and if I drag from 10 to 13, you can see 10 is selected here and 14 is selected here. Okay, so in this way we can create new event. So let's try to create a new event, test event. Okay, let me clear this one and try to hit this one. So you can see the validation is also working, subject required. So here test event. Okay, so start date, end date is already given, this is not required, and let me set this black. Okay, and then if I click the save button, you can see one event is created here with this 10 to 13. because 14 is before, this means this time is means before 14, right, and end of 13. So this is the reason it's created like this. So we have successfully done this complete CRUD operation, but there is one more interesting features in the full calendar. This is drag and drop features. By using these features, we can allow user to update event time. Let's do it. So what I will do, I will go back to our view page, and here only one thing I need to do is the calendar. Okay, sorry, where is the calendar? This one. This is the select event we have already done. Now here I need to do two things. One is editable is true, this means it will allow us to drag one event from one place to another, and then we have to use event drop event. Okay, and here in this method what I will do, and this method is also return the event what is dropped here. Okay, and here we will update the event, and I will send this updated data to the server for update on the database as well. So I will copy paste this. I have done already somewhere, where this one, right? So let me copy this one and I will paste it here, so we'll do a little quicker. Event dot event ID event dot title, and for the start date what I will do, event dot start dot format, and here we have to provide the format, the date format we are using, and the date format, this one. Where it is, sorry, okay, this one, and here I will copy this line and paste it here. If dot end is not equals to null, then I will provide this data, otherwise I will provide null value. And for the description, event dot description, and for the theme color it will be event dot color. Okay, and after done this, I will call this save event with the data. So this is what we need to do for enable drag and drop, these two things, and all the remaining things is already done. So let's refresh the browser and see if the drag and drop is working or not. Currently it is on 28th. Okay, so if I now drag it to 20, and now if I refresh the browser, you can see it's showing on the 20. That means the drag drop is also working perfectly fine. So let's see once our database as well, if everything is saved on our database or not. So I'm going to open the database. You can see here all the information is updated. Okay, this is the test event we have just created. So that means everything is working perfectly fine. If I create another one, let me test2, and this is not required, full day event. Okay, and if I make it green, save, you can see this is updated and now it's showing here, so it should show in our database as well. Yes, this is saved. No, actually I think there is one mistake I have done. This is the reason it's showing false, but it should true because I have not selected the end date, so it should be any JavaScript issue. You see, this is our form and this is our submit button. Okay, here we have done the mistake. Is full day, it should be this value, right? Copy and paste. So this is done now, and let me check anything else we have done. Here I have also done mistake. Is full day, it should be event dot all day. Okay, and all is okay. Now if I refresh the browser and try again, let me first delete this some information from our database, which is wrong information I have created for. So I will delete this too, but I have created too. And now if I run this application, okay, so now if I click one event here, 5 full day event, I'm going to select this one, description is full day. Okay, and color is green. Now if I save this event, you can see it's showing green color, and also the time is not showing. That means everything is working fine now. Let's see in our database again. The full day value should be true for this new field. This is full day event. Yes, the value is true now. So everything is working perfectly fine. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Have a nice day. Thank you.